Hi, Fire Pitters. It's Jim. You know, the other half of Fire Pit Friday. This episode of Fire Pit Friday, we invited our good friends to come over and enjoy dinner and a movie. It got better than that. We called Darren Dickerson, director of the movie D4. Now, this is a movie that we encourage all of you to go to Netflix and put in your queue. And this just makes dinner and a movie night a night to remember. Jimmy Stearns followed us with his camera to capture all of our crazy fun, and then he came up with a funny skit that everyone got to be a part of. So stick around after the interview and join in our fun.
Action, adventure, some intrigue, mystery. I mean, go for it. Tell me exactly what is the crux of this movie.
D4 is like an Area 51, and we were a team of special ops mercenaries that were hired to go into this supposedly abandoned government facility and rescue a kidnapped kid. And then once they get inside, they realized that there was a little more to it, and they, maybe there was a cross, even a double cross, and they end up getting into some trouble and having to work their way out of it, or try to.
Special effects action going on, lots of handheld, you've got guns in your movie.
Yeah, here's some of them.
Ta-da!
Right, yeah, which the biggest one here, of course, was Jamie's, and she carried that, and she carried two pistols. She had the most firepower of anybody out of all of us. Yeah.
No surprise.
Go, girl!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Jamie, did you have to train to do any of with handling the guns? It's a big gun.
Mm-hmm. And I'd never really fired a gun. I think maybe laser tag and some paintball. But yeah, we had remind me, Darren, the Tennessee State
Troopers, special weapons expert, and a guy from the Franklin SWAT team, and then also a weapons collector out of Columbia.
And yeah, we got together and had this fun arsenal of the SWAT team.
Wow.
Yeah, the collector out of Columbia had the same weapons that you see here. He had the live fire versions.
Had the sniper rifle too, and what was cool is that the first time I actually got on the ground to try to fire the sniper rifle, and I think we all tried it, but I think I was the best shot at it, which is kind of cool because of my character Snipe and the fact that I was a sniper, and it was really fun. That was actually the funnest weapon that I fired. Like, that was really
heavy.
It was really exciting.
Pretty heavy.
Yeah, it was heavy, but it was on the ground.
Eric, have you ever shot a gun before? Do you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you were familiar.
Oh yeah. Well, not with these, but not only did we get to shoot the weapons, but they took us on a training mission. So we stalked the field and taking over a facility, a house, just like they would with a regular SWAT team. So we learned how they walked and
what they
learned
look
how
out
they held
for,
the weapon exactly.
Where you need to be, be aware of everyone around
I'm sure
you.
as actors, that's got to be exciting to do something. You were stepping out of your comfort zone. You were right in it. But wow, how exciting to actually do what you want and learn something that's educational.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
And in fact, Jamie, I'll say, that was her proving ground, was that little boot camp, because Jamie's a ballroom dancer instructor by day, and she's always looks great. She always, she's so proper and just looks nice and always just this really great looking woman. And I'm like, you got to be able to can you get dirty? Can you be one of the guys carrying a gun? She's like, yeah, I can do it. And after that day, it's like, no,
you got it.
No
You
contest.
passed. Can I ask you, Darren,
Yes.
a little bit about the story? Now, this is a script that you wrote. It's a script that means a little bit more to you than just a story that you wanted to put on the big screen. This is something that's touching on a family level?
Yes.
Okay.
My oldest son had a seizure. It was in May of '07, and that was the first one that we had witnessed, and the first time that we found out that he has epilepsy. And so that was May of '07 was an awakening for his mother and I, and it really became a very stressful 3-4 months after that, just trying to figure out what was going on, what to do, trying to find a medication for him, because they immediately wanted to put him on medication because he had another, once you have so many. So this script became, for me, the script in this whole project became like a creative outlet like a self therapy. I wrote the script in a month, and immediately called these guys and everyone else that I had in mind. We did a casting, and we started shooting. We were shooting by October, so this was like I said, this was my outlet. And then I spent 2.5 years, 3 years after that, continuing to finish it and trying to put it out there. But the script itself, if knowing that, I think you can see that thread, that personal thread. The creatures, the beast, came from what we saw trying to find a medication for him, because some of these medications you put them on just tweaked them in the wrong way. And the first one we did with him really, it wasn't a good experience, So
How is your son?
he's fine. All that to say, once we found a medication that worked for him, he hasn't had another seizure since. It's been 3 years, I guess. So he's 100% controlled on medication.
Let's kind of fast forward to the production itself. Getting the money to do it. This is very difficult. A lot of directors and producers out there. I mean, you did this by yourself.
Yeah, there was a few private investors, mostly friends and family, though, and then 3/4 of it came out of my pocket.
Wow.
And then after that was just production money. After that, for the next 3 years, basically draw on lines of credit to pay my bills so I could work on it. So, in the end, it was basically another mortgage.
Yeah, no kidding. And that's a lot. I mean, kudos to you for having a passion and a dream and making it happen.
Oh, thank you. Some days, you feel like, oh man, what have I done?
No. Well, let's find out why you do what you do. Let's talk to your actors. Working with Darren, this was a learning experience for you. You probably both had really great. Do you want to talk about any clips in the movie that we can kind of talk about some really good moments that you personally feel Darren has helped you? Somewhere in the movie, you've had to have some experiences that Darren has helped you grow.
Totally. And on a general scale, what's cool, Darren calls himself OCD, and I don't know if I think you self-diagnosed that, or your wife told me that you did.
Yeah.
Or that they did. But and what's so cool about that, because Darren is so gracious and so patient and so, like, the way you communicated to us, you just felt like we were a team. We really were there to support each other and have a great time and make something really cool. One of the coolest moments for me as an actor was the first scene in the movie, which was one of the last scenes that we shot, which worked out really well because you kind of had an idea of who you were as a character by this time. Mm-hmm. And it was just Darren and I and Jeremy, the
DP.
Mm-hmm. Director of photography.
Yes.
And we had to do this very emotional scene where I actually had to cry and tears, and won't give too much away, but it's a difficult thing. And I'm like, oh, can I just throw some eye drops in my eyes and let's just go, I can make it look real. And Darren's like, no, we need the real thing. We really, we'll stay here as long as you need. We can get there. We can do this. And it was such a cool moment as an actor to feel like I was in a training process. I was in a class where I had somebody that really knew what they wanted and wanted to get from me and knew that I could do it. And it was just, I will never forget that, because it was so confidence building, but yet it was cool to see that you can actually access some emotion that you didn't, on command. It took a little while, but he was so patient, and I feel like you got what you wanted, and it was just really, really cool moment for me.
So this is going to be your moment, the real deal. We're going to watch Jamie, and we're going to see her really cry.
Terrified.
All right, let's go to that clip. So, oh my gosh, okay, Jamie, okay, intense. You got through it.
It was cool.
It's cool.
Yes.
Okay.
It was a very neat moment.
Very neat.
Yeah. Thank
Eric, okay, you've got to have some moment where, as an actor, Darren has at least touched you during the production.
Sure. I think, just expanding on what Jamie has said about working with Darren and the confidence that he put in us in finding our characters ourselves was enriching. It was empowering for us to be able to do that. But at the same time, there were moments when he needed a little bit more or a little bit different interpretation. And I remember specifically, I had a scene where we encountered the old man for the first time. And I sort of had it in my mind as to how this was going to be. And I was sort of this rough and, grizzled sort of veteran, being the oldest person other than the old man. But Darren, was looking for a softer spot in me, and that just wasn't registering for me. And he kind of walked me through that, and found that, okay, this is an old guy, and there's a little bit of tenderness there, yet still having that sort of grizzled veteran paramilitary sort of experience and that kind of thing. So I just really remember, trying to get in Darren's head while he was trying to get himself into mine, and work through that. And it took a little bit of back and forth to be able to do that, but we did, and I'm glad that it did, because it came across on camera so much different than how I would have originally interpreted that particular moment. So.
Excellent. Okay, let's take a look at that.
Okay.
All right, old man. Who are you?
Dalton, 3546765. Retired Ranger. 2 tours in Vietnam.
How'd you get in?
I followed you guys. Been inside the outer fence for almost 3 weeks now. Brilliant idea with the tree. I was going to
What are you doing here?
They have surveillance cameras all over the place. Must be some kind of underground structure. I found several.
What are you doing here?
The bastards have my grandson.
Sir, this is an abandoned facility.
Right. You guys are here for the hiking.
What makes you think someone has your grandson here?
Because I gave him to him.
Okay, tell me about your makeup. What's going on here? You are not the same Eric. You are not the same Eric.
Right,
What is all that?
I was using hair pieces. I was using extensions in the film, but no, that was when I went through the casting. I remember one of the folks on the crew gave me the call and said, "Hey, you've got the part, but you got to cut the locks." So I said, "That's not a problem. It wasn't a problem for me." So.
Wow.
I actually got my
this lovely hair.
yeah.
So you're both active actors here in Nashville, Tennessee, and you've done acting with other productions before. Darren, I hear a lot of camaraderie, teamwork. Also, I'm hearing you have developed relationships with your actors. I mean, obviously, taking them to a cabin and having, those moments. Is this something that you truly, truly enjoy? I'm kind of feeling that this is kind of like you want to go in this direction. Completely.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've been doing this since I graduated high school, basically. So, 20-something years now. And yeah, this is very much what I love to do. There's no doubt about it. And the aspect of family and friends, I decided long ago that life is way too short to not work with people. You should be working with people that you enjoy, and you should be hanging around with people that you enjoy. I mean, all you guys here tonight doing this thing that you do, I mean, that's a perfect example of it. It's you shouldn't waste your time working on jobs that you don't like. You shouldn't waste your time working with people you don't like or don't get along with.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally a team thing. I mean, I've worked on other projects where, the acting team, if you will, was quite separate from the production team. But, we're hauling apple boxes and,
it's what you have to
and
do.
Lighting or whatever.
Well, let's talk
Just
about
because-
that and being
Yeah.
independent.
Yeah.
All right, let's just go there. This is another phase. Now you're at the phase of promotion. This is your independent again. Now let's get it to major. How do we do that? Well, you got to promote. And here you're tonight promoting.
Yes.
What's next? What's your next step? What are you doing next on it?
Well,
I know you're on Netflix and
Yeah, we are in Netflix library, still trying to crack that nut. It's they require that you have a certain number of queue requests before they will order from us. So
okay, so let's make the queue request.
yes, yeah,
They won't
Look
tell
at-
us what the number is.
Yeah, it's a
we don't know
I've
what
already
the number
looked it
is.
up. I went to Netflix. I have Netflix, and I went to D4, and I hit it, and I was like, "It's going in my queue.
Yeah.
It's in my queue." So everybody needs to go to Netflix right now.
Sign up. You can do
It's
like
on
a
your
30
iPhone,
You
people.
can do a trial. You don't even have to become a member.
That's right. That's exactly right.
That's right. You just go to Netflix and you request it, and then you put it in the queue, and then what happens for you?
it goes into into your saved status on your queue. It goes to the bottom of your queue, and once they have so many requests, then they will order from us.
Ooh, let's make that happen.
Yeah, really, that would be a
That
nice
would be
one.
great.
And then
we could do a
it's-
follow-up.
Yes.
Netflix party.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you want an Addy?
Yes, yes. For I did the design for a personalized package, which you can order from our website 7710.com. But it's a
beautiful.
metal box that you can get with your name on it and all that stuff, and it did
Beautiful.
one in that.
Absolutely beautiful. Very polished, professional.
Just had a Best Actor award.
Yes,
What?
Ted
Last
Lagarde.
weekend.
Yeah.
Really?
Ted Lagarde, who plays the old man in the film, won Best Actor at the Gatlinburg Screen Fest.
Congratulations.
And then the film won.
And Jamie was
second
nominated
place. She
for
was.
Best Supporting Actress.
It's an honor to be nominated.
I hope that everybody goes to Netflix, they put it in their queue, and then maybe we can have are you going to be at the Bell Court? Are you going to have some sort of
That's
a
one that
show?
we haven't done yet.
Oh,
as
please
far as Bell
do.
Court. The Gatlinburg screening was actually the Tennessee premiere of it.
Okay.
We have another. We were accepted into the Nashville Sci-Fi and Horror Film Festival, which is coming up in May.
Okay.
Then we have a film festival in Kentucky, Fright Night, one in St. Louis, Contamination. So we have dates up through July right now.
It's been a pleasure talking to you. It really has. And I just wish you the best of luck with your directing and your acting. And I want to see more of you on screen. Fabulous job.
Thank you.
Really
Thanks.
good.
Thank you.
Really, really
Thanks so
good.
much.
Love it.
So fun.
All right, I guess what we're going to do now is have dessert. Dinner, movie, dessert.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
What can I get for you, senor?
Can I get a Guinness?
You might not want to tape the whole thing.
Come on now, you're not going to do this in the fire, are you?
Yes.
How cool is that?
I know. Look at this.
The stuff down when it came out of the glass.
Barbecue banana foster's.
Never touched me. And they saw it and just went
left-handed
like this.
Not that. That's left-handed smoke.
You would think that this would be kind of unusual.
prefer to keep my facial features.
I have a feeling. Are you going to use
I like my beard.
Use that Cointreau over there. You're going to use Cointreau.
Yeah, I see that.
What do you think about that, Jim?
Awesome. Don't spill it.